Taking the fight to the debt collectors when being harassed for debt. We've usually encouraged people to take a primarily defensive position in defending themselves from the debt collectors. In this video, we discuss some of the advantages and considerations in deciding to file the suit yourself. Brought to you by yourlegalleg.com, your advantage if you are being sued by debt collectors. We've often suggested that people take a primarily defensive position when the debt collectors are trying to shake them down. It can be a good idea to wait until you actually get sued before taking counteractions against them, because there's a good chance that they won't sue you. A lot of times they don't. But sometimes the best offense is a good defense, and sometimes they break the law and you simply want to sue them, and you can. We've been reluctant to suggest bringing suit yourself because so many people simply want the debt collectors to go away. Suing them runs the risk of locking them into place. If you sue them and they don't immediately give up, you'll have a fight on your hands that you might not have had. And of course, this means that you could lose a lawsuit that you wouldn't even have had to fight. That would obviously be a drag, but there are times when you should seriously consider taking the fight to them, when it's to your advantage to do so. Assuming you have a good chance of winning, that is, you've done your research and are pretty sure they broke the law, two other factors might suggest you bring suit. If you're confident that they couldn't win if they counterclaim against you on the supposed debt, and you need to correct or fix your credit report. There could be other reasons too, of course. In other words, you want to be confident that you will win and have a good reason for filing the suit. Filing suit is opening a Pandora's box. You want to make sure you can handle whatever tries to get out. Bringing suit yourself means that you get to choose the time, the place, and the party. Choosing the time. If you file suit, you obviously are the one deciding when you bring it. You could research the court and actually time the case for when it's most convenient for you, because courts operate on schedule. And of course, you could eliminate harassing phone calls or letters that way by bringing suit sooner rather than later. Choosing the place. If you're suing under the FDCPA or other federal law, you can file either in state or federal court. Even if you're just suing under state law, you might be able to choose the full circuit court, a court of lower jurisdiction, or even small claims perhaps. At the most surface level, you could consider little things like how close the court is to you or whether you think you would be more comfortable in one or another court. More importantly, though, you want to make sure that the law and the rules are on your side as much as possible. The courts don't actually apply the same laws, the substantive laws, and they could have different rules that could make a big difference. Specifically, we're concerned about the rule against hearsay and the business records exception. You want a court that takes the rule against hearsay seriously and a jurisdiction where they haven't introduced a lot of things that allow the debt collectors to use the business records exception more conveniently. And you might want to consider a court where the other side is not used to litigating, so that their lawyer will be uncomfortable. For example, suppose your research shows that the debt collector likes to bring suit in a state court of limited jurisdiction, or a small claims court. You could bring it in another court where they're not used to being, and where the lawyer has to show up just for your case. So that makes the lawyer uncomfortable and requires him to spend more individual time on your case. Choosing the party. When you bring the lawsuit, you obviously get to choose whom you sue. Again, research. If you are being bugged by a debt collector that does not like to sue people and tends to sell the debt after bugging people for a while, this might be a good company to sue. You know that again by research. If you do a search of the company that's bugging you and they aren't showing up in your court files, it's a good indication that they're selling the debt and that they don't like to bring suit. If they don't like to bring suit, it's a good possibility that you may want to sue them. You could also sue lawyers or their debt collector clients sometimes. So should you sue the lawyer or not? That's another question. It creates a conflict of interest if you do between the lawyer and the debt collector client, and will require an additional law firm to be used, most likely. And it also, however, creates a highly motivated, rich opposition, that is, the law firm. They don't like to lose these lawsuits. So remember, just because you're being harassed by debt collectors does not, by a long shot, mean that you will be sued. Taking the bull by the horns when you can has both risks and advantages. Know both the risks and advantages before you take action. Consider them carefully. Plan to live with whatever choice you make, so take it seriously. Defend yourself from the debt collectors. Don't let them rip you off. Please like this video, comment, and share it with others, as these things help other people find our materials. YourLegalLegUp.com